Well, me putting in the work to find this answer was because of a disagreement in my Discord server. This is an age-old question in the Township Tale community. So I'm here to give a definitive answer to the question, which is better, short sword or rapier? When discussing the advantages and disadvantages each has, the most important thing is that the rapier doesn't deal all of its damage in the initial hit. It deals it across a few hits in a single thrust, whereas the short sword deals all of its damage in a single hit in a single swing. Now, I'm going to go over all of the melee skills and discuss which lends an advantage to which sword. Also, all damage values mentioned are for red iron, without skills. When you have no melee skills attuned, the amount of damage they deal per swing or thrust, counting in the extra hits the rapier deals, is on average equal. The short sword deals 0.14 to 0.15, and the rapier deals 0.11 to 0.12 on the initial hit, with 0.03 to 0.04 from the extra hits. That said, on a really, really good thrust, the rapier occasionally gets equal initial hit damage to the short sword. Power Strike. This is a skill where the rapier has a distinct advantage. The extra hits that it gets frequently charge up the skill in 1 or 2 thrusts instead of the 3 needed for a short sword. Charged Strike. Technically, the short sword has the advantage here, as the extra hits that make up some of the rapier's final damage aren't buffed by Charged Strike. Only the initial hit is. That said, it's not an absurdly large difference, so I'll count them as equal here and not reiterate this point later. Air Slash. The short sword has a definite advantage here. Not only are the extra hits not counted in the rapier's air slash, but also, even on a perfect hit, which in melee would have equal initial hit damage to the short sword, you just can't get the air slash damage to be as good with the rapier. On average, the short sword deals 0.42 to 0.45, whereas the rapier deals 0.33 to 0.36. Ground Slam. In terms of actual damage, they're exactly equal, capping out at 0.15. But the rapier can't cut food for shit, even with Ground Slam. I'll say they're equal here because cutting food isn't a combat ability, but that's something to remember. Shield Bash. They're equal here too. Because of how you charge the skill, no extra hits are present on the rapier, meaning it takes the same amount of swings as the short sword to charge. Other non-skill things. As I previously mentioned, the rapier can't cut food for shit. Also, the rapier, because of the extra hits, tends to break faster. In terms of damage per forged blade, short sword wins. And now, my conclusion. Overall, they're equal. Neither is definitely better, and which to use depends on personal sword style, your role, and your play style. As a general rule of thumb, if you're on your own, you want a short sword. It's a better all-rounder, it cuts food, it does everything you need. If you're with a party, you might want the rapier. All of its weaknesses can be countered by having a party with you. And, with all that said, I'll see you around.